McPhee, and I want to welcome you to a fabulous conversation today with two amazing women. You probably don't realize this, but March is Women's History Month. And if you don't already know, March 8th is a very special day around the world. It is the celebration of women, International Women's Day. And I am so fortunate to be sitting here today with these two phenomenal global women leaders to tell you guys about an event that came from their vision and their inspiration, and that we are so excited to invite you to join us on International Women's Day. And today I'm so excited to be joined by Nancy G. Allen and Linda Pereira, who are going to tell you a lot more about this event and just what you expect and what we are looking forward to having on the day. So Nancy and Linda, thank you so much for joining us and having this fabulous conversation. And so why don't we get started? Nancy, Linda, why don't you guys tell us, like, okay, how did you come up with the idea to have this really exciting event?
Well, I'll share with you all that I love to do vision boards. And every year over the course of the year, I do one or two vision boards. And so I have this workshop called Vision to Victories. And we're adapting that vision boarding workshop and exercise to the theme of strength, because International Women's Day theme this year is strength. So we're going to go through a visioning exercise and all that entails, including some meditation, some breath work, some exercises on core values and limiting beliefs. Knock all that out so that we can be prepared to share what our vision, our personal vision of strength is. And the goal is to have an art project, not just a vision board, but an actual art project that will be created or started at least with the workshop, and then created by you and shared by you to the entire world. That's our big vision.
And Linda, I want to go back a little bit though. Let's talk about your relationship, because Nancy G. Allen is all about building connections as well as creativity and that courage, right, to do that. So Linda, can you talk a little bit about how you and Nancy met and just about your event and all of the things that you're doing?
Well, at the center of everything I do is always connecting to people. We are stronger with the sum of all parts, and it's impossible. I usually say that you can't see the island when you are on the island, okay? So you need people around you to give you different perspectives. I met Nancy at an event. I met Nancy through the Women of Wisdom Conference, which is an annual event. Different countries in Europe organize this event, and I was responsible for organizing an international version of the event in Lisbon. And there I meet this amazing lady who is serene, knowledgeable, calm, and really, really open to meeting people and to finding out about people. And I think it was love at first sight, because I met someone that I totally empathize with, and that in addition to empathizing with, I like her and I adore her, which are two different things. There are people I like and I don't adore. Okay, so it's really important that not only did we meet then and learn a lot from each other and from all the other women around us, but we stayed in touch because there was always a reason to connect. There was always a reason to connect. And there is nothing more important than having people around you that you trust and find enough confidence in to reach out and ask questions. And Nancy is that person. Nancy is inspirational. She makes me feel a little bit like an elephant, because when I walk into a room, I'm noisy, but Nancy is eternally serene, no matter what the problem is. So she gives you a great perspective on issues and on topics and on themes. So Nancy is like my lucky charm, okay? And I can't think of not ever knowing her. And I think that our job should be, okay, to help other women to reach the same thing, to find connections across the oceans, across the globe. There is nothing more important through connecting and committing and learning and sharing than being able to pick up the phone and talk to someone who's been through the experience, or can provide you a perspective on the experience, or can simply give you a whole new outlook. So I think that there's no other way to describe our relationship. It's a summary of all that.
That and more, right?
And more and
It's
more.
a mutual admiration, because when I met Linda, she was actually speaking when I first encountered Linda, and I thought, wow, what power, what passion, what poise. And I said, yes, so this is a person I need to get to know. And over the years, we started off as colleagues, but became very literally sisters of the heart. So I am so thrilled to be sharing this experience with my dear sister, Linda.
And Nancy, tell us a little bit about the conference. And just from your perspective, because we also want you all to know about the conference. It is coming up, and we are all super excited. And I'm keeping my fingers crossed, Linda, that I get vaccinated so I can be there with you guys in person. And so, yeah, but tell us a little bit about the conference from your perspective, because you've been going now for a while.
Yes, I've been going for 4 years now to Portugal, and the conference is amazing. Women from all over the world attend, and there are educational workshops, there are inspirational talks, there's some sightseeing, and there's just this incredible connection of women. We're all, no matter where we're from, and actually probably not even, it doesn't matter our age, we are all doing the same thing and facing the same challenges, right? And I remember at one of the conferences, a gentleman was one of the speakers on a panel, and I think he was a little overwhelmed by, the sea of women that he was speaking to. Probably usually speaks to just men, right? Generally an audience of men. And I remember he said, I stand before you in admiration, because when I leave my house in the morning, I lock the door, I get in my car, and I go to work. When my wife leaves the house in the morning, she locks the door and she puts the house on her back and she goes to work. Because if there's anything that needs to get taken care of related to my home or my children, the first point of contact is my wife. And he said, and I am sitting in front of what I bet are a whole bunch of men's wives. And you are here at this conference, I know, with your entire house on your back. So I stand in admiration. And I was so impressed that Linda knew a man who could say something like that. And that's what is the beauty of this conference, is it's not only women, but it's also enlightening men in our lives, right? To get them to understand that gender parity is not a goal, it's an action. It's not something that we should strive for, it's something we should do and we should be. And I think Portugal is one of those countries that really gets it when it comes to gender issues. And I think that's one of the reasons I love Portugal so much is they really get it when it comes to women and access.
Yeah.
It's interesting, sorry, Steph, but
No,
just I have to add, this is fundamental, that the gentleman that Nancy is talking about is just the president of the investment bank. That's all.
Just, oh my gosh. Well, I think that's actually such a good segue into the topic actually of International Women's Day. And part of the reason and some of the research as to why that topic of strength, our feeling our global strength, was chosen is because of what we've endured this year, right? And you talk about the roles of women and how not only we play woman and mother and sister and wife or whatever, but then we also had to do it all 24 hours a day in our home. And not be able to leave. So Linda, I know you guys actually are back in lockdown right now. So can you just talk about, from your perspective as a woman, what this means this year, especially about strength and the kind of strength we've all had to tap into?
It's really interesting because I was actually speaking at a conference for Africa yesterday, and we were talking about the fact that how um, this COVID has actually taken women back 20 years, and that women have been the silent victims of COVID beyond health and beyond disease. It has impacted on women's mental health far more than anyone can imagine. A woman who is working remotely, for example, we are all on, it's obligatory, we're all on remote work, but your children are also off school. The schools are closed. The universities are closed. All the children are at home. So suddenly a family has, a woman is working a normal 8-hour, 10-hour day on her computer. Her children each need a computer because they all have schooling online. They need help with their work. They need lunch made because school is not there, so they're not having lunch at school. They need breakfast made. Everything has to be done. And the first, a friend of mine told me, I'm dying for a day when I don't hear mum, the word mum, the whole day. I don't hear, because the first port of call is mom, mom, because the computer goes, because the internet doesn't work, because they can't do something the teacher requests. And of course, what has happened, and even my best friends have told me this, the men, they close the office door, they take over the office, they, in the houses that have an office, they close the door and they're at work.
Yeah.
But mom is in the living room, or mom is in the bedroom. So she's having a meeting holding the baby's head so he doesn't pop up in front of the computer. And she's kind of sitting on them, or she's taped them to the floor or something. And the guilt also, this whole impact of I'm not paying attention to them, they need me, the work, etc. Women have, it has taken a toll. And this is when you're home, because when it comes to unemployment, companies tend to choose that the bias is still there wherever you are in the world. It doesn't matter how advanced the society, the bias is there. If you have to choose between cutting a job that a woman has or a man, you will cut the woman's jobs first. And this has resulted in livelihoods being lost. Small businesses are 97% founded by women. So you have hairdressers, makeup, all little shops, all these things. They've been closed for almost a year. So you can imagine it's women going bankrupt. If you're a single mother and you're going bankrupt, this is not an amusing situation to be in. So I think that women are handling the home stress, the work stress, and they're handling bankruptcy, because most small enterprises are founded by women. So we have 150% increase over the last 5 years in businesses founded by women. And so this is tremendous. We have, on International Women's Day, we have to implement a mentality of sisterhood. We have to be there for each other. This evening at 9, I'm having a stress-busting girl talk with a glass of wine with 30 women, because I organize one of those every week on a Friday night, because we need to talk to each other. We need to support each other. We need, so that women with the marketing skills help the other women, women with industrial skills or help the other women, women with legal skills help them. It has become this, let's talk about whatever, and it's a safe place. We have to, let's think of the 8th of March as I'm reaching out to another woman day.
Beautifully said, Linda, beautifully said. And I think that the whole concept of vision to victories is that we need to rewire the way we're thinking because of all that you have said, right? We need to pause and say, this is not the life that I want, but I'm going to work on a vision of the life that I do want. And a big part of the life that I do want is for me to regain my strength, because women are very strong, or else we would not have survived we're surviving, right? So part of this workshop is going to be all about taking back control of our strengths
Yep.
and looking inward to see, I'm good at this, I'm good at that, and here's how I'm going to apply my strength to this present situation in order to advance and flow in grace. Right. So I'm so excited about this program. I'm excited about our joint efforts. And I'm really excited about seeing women from all over the world and what their vision of strength means.
Oh my gosh.
You know, Nancy, my philosophy of life is that you can't be what you can't see. So this is the perfect workshop for us to start a conversation. Let's start an internal conversation and a group conversation. Sometimes, and I beg all women to look at this workshop this way. Sometimes just stopping to think in a group and actually visualizing, we suddenly see the issues and the positive things that we were missing. We're too busy running around and sorting out everybody's problems. We have to also take care of ourselves. It's like on the plane, they tell you, do not put anybody's oxygen mask first, put on yours first. It's
Absolutely.
important. If you are not focused, how can you help anybody else, least of all yourself? So you you have, this is perfect for us to focus our vision and find out where we're going and where we want to go, and are we going in the right direction? This is the fork. We're standing at the fork. Which way are we going to go? Perfect idea for the perfect day.
Oh my gosh.
Beautiful.
So beautifully said. So once again, for those of you, this is a free event. And again, to what Linda said, mostly because it is needed, and also an opportunity for us to, grasp arms virtually across the globe. And so we are inviting all women across the globe to come and join us for this session. We are going to spend some time in a sacred space to really lean into what strength means. And what is the most exciting part beyond the event itself is we plan to take all of the visual stimulation, the pieces that we're going to build together, and to create a virtual gallery that will be shared and that we can continue to pass on to other women and invite them into the space to share beyond the event. So I know I'm excited because, as you said, Linda, I mean, this has just been an outstanding, unprecedented times, right? I mean, I just got off. Nancy knows. It's funny you said that. I just had 10 days of quarantine with my daughter, both of us at home, nobody else allowed. And I was like, "You boy, when that 11th day came and I could bye, sweetheart." As much as I love my name mom, after 24 hours for 10 days, I was like, "Woo." But again, so we invite you to join us 11:30 to 1:30. And again, the main session is 90 minutes. We have decided to add a secondary session for conversation and connection. If you're able to give us some extra time, we know the time zones may be a little bit interesting. So sign up, join us. You're going to be getting some prompts. We also want to invite you to send me a little video. We want to know where you're coming to us from before the event. So we're going to be sharing videos of people. Let us know where you are. If you're like Linda and you're at home, let us know. If you can get into your garden, let us know. Whatever it might be, we want to get to know you and to know that we have this phenomenal sisterhood. So Nancy and Linda, thank you from myself and for all women across the globe for putting this phenomenal event together. And I just cannot wait until we get to experience it.
My pleasure.
All right. Well, thank you. We look
Yeah.
forward to seeing you guys on March the 8th.
Right.
Bye.